Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
Ladies and gentlemen, I should say former Memphis police officers are on trial on the federal level, and they have been found guilty for witness tampering. But some of the more serious charges, they were not held accountable for. So, three former officers acquitted for most serious charge in Tyre Nichols' death. So, three of the former officers were found guilty on Thursday of federal witness tampering charges in the fatal beating of Tyre Nichols, a 29-year-old black man. But all three defendants were acquitted of the more serious charges of violating his civil rights by causing his death. One of the officers, Demetrius Haley, was convicted on a lesser charge of violating Mr. Nichols' civil rights by causing bodily injury. The three defendants, Mr. Haley, Tadarius Bean, and Justin Smith, and two other officers who pled guilty to their role in the violence. And, so this is on the federal level, which means they still got to go on trial on the state level. So this thing is far from over. And on the state level, they have been charged with second-degree murder. The mixed verdict in federal trial in Memphis comes nearly 2 years after Nichols' death, which sickened many across the nation who viewed it in, and people start questioning law enforcement and how excessive force was used in this case and in many cases in America. But, that's what happens when you encourage your cops to go out here and be violent. And when they follow suit, they take it way too far. So in the video, which came out January of 2023, the encounter showed that after Mr. Nichols fled a traffic stop, officers viciously punched him and kicked him, ignoring his cries for his mother and his attempts to comply with the barrage of conflicting commands. None of the officers reported the extent of the beatings. Yeah, many, they falsified police reports, and that seems to be a very prevalent thing in America. Sentencing on the federal convictions is expected to occur in January, with the witness tampering charge carrying a sentence up to 20 years in prison. But they probably won't get the maximum. But on the more serious charges on the state level, I think they're going to be heavily charged. They're going to be spending time behind bars, definitely. Okay, the most serious charge would have led to a life sentence. After the verdicts were read, Mr. Nichols' mother, Rovan Wells, and his stepfather, Rodney Wells, said they were pleased that the three officers were now in custody and have been escorted out of the courtroom by the U.S. Marshals. I'm actually in shock right now, Miss Wells said, because I still can't believe all this stuff is going on and that they have all been convicted. Mr. Wells added We're all very, very happy that these guys have been put in jail. This is a long time coming. So, the trial, which lasted more than 3 weeks, exposed a culture of secrecy and violence within the Memphis Police Department, where officers held to an unspoken agreement that they could punish anyone who fled from them and downplay the violence on police reports. The 5 officers, all of whom were Black, were part of a team within a specialized Scorpion Street crime unit. Their arrests, statistics, and confiscations were a priority. Mr. Nichols, a FedEx worker who loved photography and skateboarding and was the father of a young child, had been driving home from work on January 7th, 2023, when he was stopped by officers, yanked from his cars, and faced a series of conflicting and aggressive commands, and was hit with pepper spray and fired at with a stun gun before he broke away and ran towards his mother's home. He was stopped down the street from his mother's house, where more officers arrived and they began punching and kicking him. Wow. I mean, this is so hard to just even read, even to this very day. So remember, he sat motionless on the street. You could tell they propped him up against a police car, and he was motionless at that point. And he did not get any medical aid before the ambulance was called. Over the course of 2 weeks, federal prosecutors summoned several former and current Memphis police officers, as well as many of the medical staff members who responded. Because remember, even some of the EMTs got in trouble because when they arrived, they really didn't help him like they should have. So, Mr. Nichols finally arrived at the hospital shortly after the beating. And they also repeatedly played the compilation of body cameras and surveillance footage first released in the weeks after the traffic stop that showed the beating of Mr. Nichols, pained cries from his mother, and some of the upbeat conversations that came after. You know what these officers did, and know it because you saw it over and over again. Karen Gilbert, a Justice Department lawyer, in closing statements. You can use your eyes, you can use your ears, you can use your common sense. You know what these officers did. Yeah, but you know what? The officers have been acting like this in this country, not just Memphis, but all over this country for a long time. And the Justice Department has never done anything. In fact, no president administration ever took any strong measures against the kind of violence that we face from these cops. They don't take any measures, at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, they're not done yet. There's going to be um, more courtroom. They're going to have to go back to the courtroom for more trials on the state level. And those are some heavy charges coming their way that can land these guys in prison, if not for most of their life, for the rest of their life. So more than likely, this is going to go into 2025 on the state level. So the prosecutors recommended up to 40 years in prison for Mr. Martin and up to 15 years in prison for Mr. Mills. And, they had another vigil outside and inside the courtroom. And they said his mother was slipping in and out of the courtroom because she was trying to avoid watching her son getting, beat to death, really, literally, in the video. So she just couldn't sit there. And they said during the trial, she would just get up and walk out of the courtroom because she did not want to see the video anymore. I don't blame her. I understand. So, y'all, please tell me what you think about this video. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.